Oh gosh, yeah. I know, he's a little tall. I did not go next to him. It would look a little awkward.
Yeah, that would be quite the ball, the spinning the ball on the finger. That's
I know, that was so cool. And Lacey did such a good job for those 0.2 seconds.
That's right, then lost it. We won't mention that.
No, that was awesome. You know, today, nice and warm. Warm and a little still windy. So we're gonna have to watch that fire threat, unfortunately. Again, today, now it's not gonna be quite as high as what we had this weekend, but man, our storm trackers, they were all over it again. Val and Amy Castor, Jeremy Carter, Marty Logan, they were in western Oklahoma. That's where we had some hot spots and some of those fires just kept going. And unfortunately, yeah, we're just gonna continue to see some of that until we can get decent rain to move into that part of the state. Now let's go ahead and go to Links 1. I'm going to show you where that fire threat is. Again, we're going to be in that moderate category today across central and western Oklahoma. So humidity, it's going to be pretty low. We're still going to see wind gusts highs around 25. But today, now eventually that wind's just going to be out of the north and west. So temperatures will eventually go down. It's going to be a lot cooler out to the west. Right now, though, nice and mild. This is our OCCC camera up of our Lucky Star Skycam network. Mostly sunny. You can see the camera shaking a little bit. We're at 64 degrees. The wind out of the south sustained at 19 miles an hour. Wind gusts still up to 30. We're already sitting at 68 in Chandler, 65 in Midwest City, 64 in Yukon, 64 degrees in El Reno. Now, the cold front being in northwest Oklahoma, so behind it, it's a little bit more chilly. We're only in the low 40s right now in Guyma. We've got upper 30s out there in Cimarron County, but lots of upper 40s in the northwest, while the rest of it 60s, even 70s across the eastern half of the state with that south to southwest wind between about 15 to as much as around 35 miles an hour. But behind the front, again, that wind's out of the northwest with gusts as high as around 30 or so. So this cold front's going to move through the metro probably between about 3, 4 o'clock or so. And before that happens, it's going to be pretty warm. Well, when will things start to cool down? That's going to be tomorrow. But our next chance of rain, that's going to hold off until later on in the week. Right now, it's looking more like Thursday into Friday, at least for the Oklahoma City metro. So today, the fire threat, it's still there. It's in that lower category across the eastern half of the state, but central western Oklahoma, the moderate category. We do have a chance of rain as we get into more so tomorrow afternoon and evening. That's going to stay in southeast Oklahoma. And then Wednesday looks pretty quiet for most of us until we get into Thursday and Friday. The moisture starts to increase from the south. We've got waves moving in from the south and west, so a pretty decent chance, especially along and east of I-35 for Thursday afternoon. And by Friday, it looks like a lot of us will have a chance of rain. In fact, so cold enough that we could see a rain and snow mix in parts of the panhandle Friday afternoon. Now, here's the thing behind it. This weekend, we're going to be cooling off. Temperatures not making it out of the 50s for most of us. But that doesn't last forever. Eventually, by early next week, we're going to start to warm things back up with temperatures back in the 60s here eventually. Today, though, looking for a high of about 79 in Oklahoma City, 83 in Chandler, 76 in Guthrie, 77 later today in Piedmont. And again, should be for today, but temperatures in the upper 70s, 80s across the south and southeast. And then overnight tonight with that north wind, we're going to be dropping down into the middle 40s. We're talking about the 30s, though, in the northwest, 60s across far southeast Oklahoma. And there will be a chance of rain and storms across the far southeast. But again, most of us will be staying dry. So tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow will be a little bit cooler, but these numbers are still above normal. So 64 in Oklahoma City, while we're going to see the low to mid 70s across south central and southeast Oklahoma with a chance of rain and storms in the far southeast, basically over McCurtain County. That is where we do have a low threat of seeing some low and severe weather, maybe quarter-size hail, wind gusts 60 to 65. By Wednesday afternoon, temperatures back to around 70. Notice that wind is shifting back to the south and west, so warming things up again. Now, Thursday, here comes the chance of rain and storms. Parts of the metro will see a moderate chance of rain and storms, but it's going to be a little bit more likely across the eastern half of the state. But any one of these storms could become low and severe with some small hail, wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. So trackers will be out. By Friday afternoon, it looks like it's going to be more of a chilly rain for most of us, but cold enough where we could see a rain and snow mix in the panhandle. How much rain are we expecting this time around? Well, I think the metro western sides could see about 1/2 of an inch. Eastern sides, maybe up to an inch or so. Before that happens, it's going to be warm, but once the cold front moves in, we are dropping back into the 50s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Guys, back to you.